following document is classified as a Level 4 info hazard. Unauthorized access will result in termination through memetic kill agent. Proceed at your own risk. Object name: Collapsal. Containment class: Keter. Special containment procedure. Under no circumstance are Rhodes Island operators to approach the lands of Sami. Observation of the Collapsals must only be carried out through video and audio recording equipment managed by the operators stationed at the Sami border. Under no circumstance can these recordings leave Sami, and must be deleted after an operator adequately rated for exposure to cognitohazardous material has examined and confirmed the recordings follow containment norms. The operator that has viewed the recordings must then have their memory deleted by another operator with the Originium arts to do so, to prevent them from being affected by the info hazard. If in case an expedition to Sami occurs, follow all these guidelines to ensure the safety of Rhodes Island operators. Sami has its own logic. Whenever you feel it's necessary, silently recite it to yourself. If at that moment you start questioning Sami, immediately run away. Leave Sami. Sami seems to have no logic at all. Whenever you feel the need to doubt, don't hesitate. Show your skepticism. If you feel confident at a moment when you should doubt, immediately run away. Leave Sami. People who speak can generally be trusted. But if you encounter someone silent or the shadow of someone speaking, immediately run away. Leave Sami. Respect the customs of the locals. Do not touch the trees of the local people, let alone stroke the shadows of the trees. If you do, immediately run away. Leave Sami. On nights when the twin moons are dim, do not spend the night in the forest. If absolutely necessary, do not spend the night with your companions. You must separate out of each other's sight. If the conditions do not allow this, or if there are any other factors around you that make you and your companions afraid of staying alone, immediately run away. Leave Sami. If you find that your inner thoughts receive verbal responses from others, do not answer. Immediately run away. Leave Sami. If you keep these warnings in mind, then when you need to use them, you will naturally know. If you haven't kept these warnings in mind, immediately run away. Leave Sami. Do not bring back things from Sami that should not be brought back. If you do, immediately run away. Take it back to Sami.
So, now that Typhon and IS-4 are released, we finally get our first look into the stories and lore that is happening there. So I think this is the perfect time to talk about one of the most interesting parts of the world of Arknights in my opinion, that is Sami, and the demons living in the Infi ice fields. If you didn't know, Sami is located at the furthest north of the Arknights world. It's loosely based off of the culture of the old Nordic and Arctic folklore. Some of the things that make Sami and its lore so cool is how much they lean into mystic animism. Animism being the belief that all objects, places, and beings have a spiritual essence, that everything, even plants, rocks, trees, and even the weather, as having agency and free will. We are able to very clearly see this in the traditions and practices of the people of Sami. From people listening to the heart of Sami by building settlements close to the trees, to people getting drunk and trying to befriend the trees. The people of Sami believe that these trees are sacred. The shamans of Sami would read prophecies through the bark of the trees, and they would perform rituals so that when they migrate, the trees would migrate with them. Shamans and medicine men being extremely important figures in Sami's culture, understandably so, as they are the ones who would make all the big important decisions too. Sami, being a very isolated society, we barely know anything about them. It adds to the mysticism of the entire place. Take one of the spirits of Sami that we actually know of, Amma, who is one of the spirits that protect Sami. Amma here is actually a lord of the beasts, much like Dolly and the Emperor. Being basically like a protector spirit to Sami, the people worship her, treating her like a goddess. But why exactly is Sami as isolated a place as it is? Sure, we see in Typhon's vignette event that the tribes of Sami are pretty hostile towards outsiders, but there has to be more of a reason to this, right? Enter the Collapsals. Collapsals are the demons living north of Sami in the Infi ice fields. They are not unlike the Seaborn in a sense that they are extremely dangerous threats to the world of Terra if they are left unchecked. But in what way are they dangerous, you ask? Oh boy, do I have some things to tell you. That little intro I made was obviously inspired by the SCP universe. I presented the Collapsals as an info hazard and a cognito hazard. This basically means that they are dangerous to perceive through one of your senses, and that it is dangerous to even think about them. So what would happen if you were to make an oopsie and break one of the rules in the intro, or delve too deep into learning about the Collapsals? Well, here are a few things that can happen that would indicate the presence of Collapsals. Plants would start to bloom in the form of flowers, an unnatural blackness that won't be able to be caught on recording devices like cameras, pitch black snowfall or black fog, and if you yourself are corrupted by the Collapsal, you would experience black blood oozing through your orifices. Your body would have black patches and your internal organs would be hollowed out. Also, your face will resemble that of black holes, which we actually see on the enemies in-game. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Okay, it's dangerous to perceive them and it's dangerous to think about them. If you do, that's already enough to manifest corruption. Once you're corrupted, you would lose all sense of self and basically become like a zombie just trying to spread the collapse even more. Okay, sure, that makes them already extremely dangerous, and that alone is why people aren't allowed to go in and out of Sami to prevent the influence of the Collapsals from spreading. But that isn't everything. To an extent, they can manipulate space-time, they can cause hallucinations, which further develops the physical and mental corrosion of a victim. They prey on this fear and even cause this fear to manifest. And even just being around them, they would cause conventional physics and how we understand the world to break down. Common sense wouldn't be so common anymore. So, how in the world are people still here and Terra isn't completely overrun by Collapsals? Well, because there have been many extremely powerful people in Terra that have went to Sami to push back against the threat of the Collapsals. From Emperor's Blades, the Tianxi, even Wendigos from Sarkaz. Remember people saying that Patriot in his prime is one of the most powerful characters that we'll ever get to know? Partly because Wendigos are just so naturally strong. You would also know that Patriot was known to be the last pure-blooded Wendigo. I wonder what happened to the rest of them. But of course, the main force pushing back against the Collapsals are the Sami Snow Priests, of which we know 2 that are named. This guy, he's dead now, and Santala, who took his place. Even if they're literally built to fight against the Collapsals, they don't win 100% of the time because we can see the Snow Priests fall to corruption too. But regardless, we know that they're strong enough to earn the respect of Patriot. Now, how are they so strong? I'm not 100% sure of this, as I have not seen anything to definitively prove it, but it's probably because they are being helped by Sami's will. Now, you might be wondering why I'm treating Sami, the location, as a living thing. Remember me talking about the beliefs of animism? In the most literal sense, Sami is alive. From the trees that the people have built around, to the mountains that border the Infi ice fields. We see this in one of the frontier memoirs of Ending 1. Magellan thinks. She puts her hand to her chest. She feels her heartbeat and that of the tree. She understands now. It is no plant. It is the heart of Sami. She has walked across Sami's spine, challenged Sami's will. She has descended into Sami's scar and wandered inside Sami's body, through Sami's bones, following the lights of Sami's neural network. Sami forgives her intrusion. It has shown her its scars and vulnerability as a gift to the explorer. No one knew of Sami's pain until now. Compassion from a kindly spirit gives comfort to its tired soul. So, with all this said and done, how does all this lore fit into the gameplay? Well, we see so much of it. The main enemy type we see in IS4 is of course Collapsals, or at least the people and things that have been corrupted by its influence. And we see how much the Collapsals want to spread, seeing how fast they fucking go. We see these unfortunate people that have succumbed to the corruption of the Collapsals. But we can also see just how alive Sami is. Using one of the most famous nodes in integrated strategies, the Sarkaz girl. If you choose to loot her house, it fucking comes alive and punishes you for it. We get to see the various things that the Collapsals have corrupted, from warriors of Sami tribes to the Sami Snow Priests, even corrupted Emperor's Blades. You get a sense that nothing is safe from these bastards. Even the Collapsals' mind-bending abilities is in full display. We get to see it via the collapse paradigms. Things like dequantification, non-linear movement, and pan-society paradox describe how mind-bending being in the presence of a collapsal is. Blurring the boundaries of numbers, phrases like, the shortest distance between 2 points is not a straight line, and the value of all products have become incapable of being explained with common sense. We even see how they feed off of and manifest your fears with emotional entity. where innermost negative emotions become an actual monster. Not to mention all the nodes, where we can see and have a more solid grasp of the culture and mysticism of Sami's lands. It really is amazing and engrossing to see all of them. Even when braving through and suffering with the higher ascensions, it's honestly just incredible and I loved learning about it. And I hope I conveyed even just a little bit about how terrifying and fascinating this all is. But that's all I have for you in this video. I really hope you enjoyed and I'll see you next time. Bye bye!